Good morning. Welcome. Come on in or get into your own space. I'm Belinda with Just Be Yoga, and this is our Tuesday morning home yoga practice live. How are you? Come on in, say hello, let me know you're here. And I'm just setting up my screen there. And we're going to get started with practice. I'm honored to be able to share practice with you, coming into your own authentic practice in your home, in your space, with just a little bit of guide. So this isn't meant to be a, sequence set, I'm telling you everything to do. What I've really hoped to do with home yoga practice is offer some tips and tools to construct a system of practicing that works for you. Something that you can commit to and do. And sometimes that's the biggest thing. Like, how do I just keep coming back, I can't tell you how many folks, if you're new, this is Puma. She is the yoga kitty. I'm gonna go ahead and sit and share, but a lot of times, over the years, one of the biggest obstacles to practice that I see people struggling with, and even myself, is keep coming back, right? Whether it's doing it at home or even going to a studio, how do we keep coming back? We go, I really liked that. I really needed that. That really connected me to something more than just my physical body, but it really pulled me together and made me feel a little more whole. But what is it that then when we leave that we go, I can't get back to that, no, or I don't have time, or I don't have whatever. So what I hope to do is offer a few tips, a little chunk, a little nugget here or there, to number one, make it accessible. That's been a part of Just Be Yoga's mission ever since we began 11 years ago, was inclusivity and accessibility. So, certainly as a donation-based outfit, money was a huge part of the inclusivity, but also making this inclusive and accessible to do, making it possible. Because telling someone right off the bat, 90 minutes of your time or 60 minutes of your time, boom, already I'm ready to go. And I can put up all the obstacles to arriving. So let's arrive today in our space and take what we can, let go of any pressure, let go of expectation, and arrive as openly and honestly within ourselves as we can. Alrighty? So I'm actually going to start in a seated space. If you're new, you don't have to make anything special, all right? You can move a little bit of furniture, have a little patch of some space. You don't even need a yoga mat. You could be on some blankets or something that's comfortable, all right? I like the mats that give me a little bit of grip. I've actually got two here. And this is some padded interlocking flooring. And so it gives me a little bit of added cushioning for some of my aching joints. But you don't have to go through all of that. So I hope that you are not looking at something and going, well, I can't buy all that stuff. Nope, you don't need it. If you do have yoga blocks or a mat that you want to use, go ahead. If you don't have a block, maybe grab a blanket. Go ahead and get one anyway. But what you can do with your blanket is you can just, boom, and now you have a little pallet that we can use for any of our reclining things. If you need something for some added support in some of the standing poses, and that'll become apparent a little later, you could use a chair. So just have a folding chair nearby, or a chair in your house without wheels. And then maybe a strap. Don't look at this as like Little Shop of Horrors kind of stuff, okay? This is just to be able to help hold on to some spaces, maybe if we can't reach. That's all. Just think of it as adding to the length of your own limbs. Alrighty, so I've got my block. I'm going to keep that right here. I'm going to put my blanket right here out of the way. And I'm going to set this. I'm going to feel a little more balanced. There we go. Put that out right over there. So I'm just start in a sitting space. And actually, that's why I had reached for the block. I'm going to sit on my block. So maybe you're like, well, what kind of yoga is this? Yoga. I would say, a hatha yoga practice of getting into the body and connecting to what's going on in it and how I'm feeling. But this isn't an Ashtanga practice, which is a set sequence of movements in a heated kind of environment, but according to Ashtanga, if you're following it, like from Mysore. It's not a power yoga class, so we're not going to be ripping and roaring through a swift pace, core, or heat. My intention here is to just really help disseminate what I practice as the philosophies of yoga in movement. So I like to just start with some quietude. You could do this standing, you could do it sitting, lying down. But I find that for myself, if I arrive ripping and running and going, I never really settle my mind. And I really start to get into my objective-based stuff. And if I stay really connected with the very first Yoga Sutra, Hatha Yoga Anushasanam, and thus yoga begins. Yoga means create a connection. So if I'm just sitting with letting the connection begin, connection to my physical self and what is going on, not blocking it out. So I can feel all of my bones, everything in contact with the floor, all five senses, every region of my body, and decide to be fully present, consciously in contact with that, and just notice what's going on. Now I'm going to bring my attention to my breath and allow Hatha Yoga Nushasanam, and thus yoga begins. This journey of connection begins into my breath. Everything I can observe and notice and feel and experience about my breath right here. I usually do this as an abdominal breath, so I let the belly just relax. And it really helps me notice how much I restrain that area of my body. I get to observe any resistance to free movement in my low abdomen, and how much I restrict a fullness of breath or invite it. Now I let my mind absorb Hatha Yoga Nushasanam, and thus yoga begins. Thus this connection begins in my mind. I sit and I observe the comings and goings, the contents, the thoughts in my mind. All three of these may present their own difficulty or challenges, right? We may feel fidgety and maybe we're thinking, I don't think I'm supposed to fidget. Fidget and observe it. When you're in the breath, maybe you feel like you've overworked it. Maybe you've over-focused. You could be getting tired of it or lightheaded. Observe it. Notice it. Can you notice how the body is responding? Are you tensing your jaw or your hands? And then the big playground, the mind. What's going on in the mind? Are you fussing at yourself right now? Going, man, when are you going to do the movement? Or, oh shoot, I'm still thinking about that thing that happened in traffic. Or how mad I am at my friend, or how disappointed I am in myself. Don't push it away. Arrive and connect with what is all going on. And now, what is going on around you? What can you see in the room? What can you hear? What can you feel? What can you taste and smell? So be with what's going on inside of you and outside of you. What is truly going on right now? Don't dismiss it. Don't say it's silly. This is what's true right now. Don't miss it by dismissing it. So I'm going to remove my block and I'm going to come to child's pose and get ready to start moving. Please feel free to make a comment if there's any question you have. If there's a desire that you have a certain kind of pose or certain kind of breath, let's let this be as interactive as we can, rather than it being one way, connecting to one another as an extension of our practice. But I am going to get ready to find some movement. So I'm going to come to hands and knees. And then come back to that awareness of how I am in my body. I'm feeling my wrists feel a little pressure. I'm not going to say they hurt. They're just accepting my body weight. I feel a little stiff. My hips, my spine feel a little neutral, right? They're not hurting. They're not empty or weak, right? What does neutral feel like? And am I okay with that? I'm going to sink my hips back for what's called child's pose or balasana. And it's a posture. And I come back into that scanning my physical body from my fingers all the way to my toes. Feeling the density of my body. And letting that be enough. Don't dismiss it. Be with it. Don't want to miss any part of it. And then maybe, how is it making you feel? Are you comfortable in your own skin that you're in? And if not, how do we start to create ease? Right? Do you want to bring the arms a little bit back? Do you want to go out wide? Do you want to widen your knee? Did ease increase or decrease in certain degrees? I did not mean to rhyme there. So I'm going to explore length because my waist and my ribs are really enjoying feeling this stretch, this exposed lengthening. that uninhibited feeling. And because I'm lying on the floor, it feels like I don't have to work for it. So I'm digging that. And that's all, and I'm feeling it. Now my right shoulder's feeling a little bit of pressure, so I'm adjusting that. And I'm just going to have a few breaths and observe my breath. Encouraging it to find a space of ease, not force. And my mind. Can I ask my mind to be satisfied that this is enough, that it doesn't have to stay in constant calculation? I'm going to breathe in and come forward to hands and knees. And then exhale, shifting it back. Hatha Yoga Anushasanam. Breathing in, coming forward, and thus my yoga is beginning. My conscious contact with connecting to myself. Consciously connecting. Breathing in, feeling weight shifting. Noticing my hands, the bones in my wrists and fingers, flesh in my belly. Breathing in. Breathing out. Now maybe this is all you have time for today. That's fine. Getting to stretch the arms, getting to massage and palpate the organs, getting to lubricate the hips, maybe stretching your waist and your ribs. So much help in our circulation, digestion, even toward elimination. Breathing in and coming forward to hands and knees. I'm going to tuck my toes and start to push the butt up, dropping the head downward, downward. So please notice that I'm not going to say any way that the body needs to look, not toward finding your max, just feeling out your ease. Right? As you're developing in your practice, you'll be able to feel and notice, hey, I think this area wants to move a little bit more, but we're just here to be and feel and let the body talk to us, not coming to assert the mind. At least that is in my practicing of this practice, my arrival that I'm sharing. I'm going to pedal my heels up and down and just notice the flesh and the feeling up and down the backs of my calves. And for me, it's feeling a little lower toward the ankle. I did a lot of walking yesterday, so that makes a little sense to me. And it feels good. Nice, good stretching, because I kind of overworked that area a bit. Now I'm going to press the heels down, tilting the tailbone up. And maybe that doesn't make any sense to you. And that's okay. You can just start to explore. Can I feel my own tailbone? What does that mean? And thus my yoga begins. Thus my desire to have conscious connection with what's going on in my body is beginning. Breathing in. Breathing out. I'm going to bring the left knee down. Notice how it arrives on the earth. Did I crash it there? Did I place it down softly? Stepping the right foot up. Stepping my left foot up. And rolling the spine up. So if you're still here, if you're like, okay, I've still got a little bit more time, I want to work and feel a little bit more, stay here. Maybe you're in on demand and you want to fast forward and see what else is coming up. Maybe there's something more in the hips or standing poses. Okay, so I really want folks to treat this way. I've got time at home. How do I arrive with myself on my mat? What is it that I'm enjoying? Connect right now. Why am I here? And stay connected to that intention. Give that to yourself. I'm going to change direction. I am here to connect with what my body wants to tell me. That's all. And maybe the shoulders isn't it for you. Maybe it's your hips, right? And so how do you get there? What do you want to do with that? All right. I'm going to breathe in and lift. I'm going to feel my whole body today. Exhaling forward folding so I can give all of the sections of my body a chance to talk to me. I'm going to breathe in and lift the chest here, letting my belly hold my torso up. I'm going to bring the hands down, and I'm going to step the right knee back, bring that knee down, step the left leg back, tuck the toes, lift the hips, down dog. Maybe you don't want to do a down dog. Maybe you want to just stay in your tabletop. If you're feeling strain in any area of your body, ask yourself, how do I bring some ease to that? Could you work the shoulders a little? Could you relax the shoulders? If it's feeling tense, can you give it ease? Can you will it? Can you wish it there? Can you at least wish it for yourself? Because the wishing, that intention is a beginning. I'm going to bring the knees down, lean the chest over the thumbs, lowering my arms down. Remember, I said I want to feel my whole body today, feeling strength, length, stretch, ease, breathing in, lifting the chest up for cobra, just feeling my chest bend, move, my organs move, breath in, exhale, child's pose. And I'm feeling ease come into the wrists because there's less pressure now. So I'm feeling it diminish. I can really feel my breath here, a little less restricted than it had felt in the cobra. And I'm enjoying that. And there's some neutral stuff too. My mid-back feels kind of neutral. I'm okay with that. I'm going to breathe in and come forward to hands and knees. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, down dog. Now, this is like my third time here. I'm spreading my toes, seeing if I can be aware of occupying as much of my body as I can. Remember, I said that's what I wanted out of my practice today. I just want to live in the whole house. So opening my toes is like opening the windows. And I'm going to push the heels down. Feel my waist. What role does it have in lengthening me in this pose, or am I dumping in it? Does it feel like I'm collapsing into it? What are different parts of my body doing to help me lift? Or do I just kind of dump down on my body? It's not a judgment. I'm just noticing what I do. I'm going to move my neck left and right. Just feel the range. How much does it want to move? What feels good in certain ranges? Up and down. What feels limited? Maybe tight. Breathe. And I'm going to bring the left knee down. Step that right foot up. Step the left foot up. Rolling the spine up. Now I'm going to just keep moving for a little bit. Breathing in and lifting. Exhaling into a side bend. So I'm going to bring my right hand down and feel the side of my body. Feel the organs and the bones. Breathing in and lifting. Exhaling it over. Feeling my skin. Feeling my muscles and tendons. Inhale, lifting. Paying attention to my eyes, my eyelids, my jaw. Exhaling, coming forward, feeling the weight cascading off the back of my neck. Half flat back, breath in, lifting the chest. Hands down, stepping to my version of a plank. I'm going to have my legs lengthened this time. Lowering it down, feeling the elbows bend intentionally, lowering, not dropping my body down. No judgment here. Maybe the body couldn't do it really slowly. Breathing in, lifting the chest, checking in. Am I forcing my chest open, or am I accepting the range it wants to give me? Exhaling into child's pose. Breathing in, breathing out. And maybe that's all you have time for today. Before you leave your mat, give yourself some time of sitting, being still, the pause, and the practicing of the pause. Pause is a legitimate practice. Pause is a hard practice. I'm going to breathe in and come forward to hands and knees, stacking wrists under shoulders, knees under hip bones. And I'm going to twist that right arm open, breath in. Exhale, I'm going to thread the needle and bring the back of that right shoulder to the mat, my right ear toward the floor. And breathe and feel. Now I can let myself collapse here. Will I? Get to notice what's going on in my body. How willing am I to let go? How habitual has it become for me to hold tension, to hold resistance? Am I aware of when I'm doing certain things? I'm going to walk this left hand in and ease my right shoulder out from under me. Right hand down and twist. Now, you're all in your own bodies. Don't go to any extreme that creates discomfort. If you are noticing discomfort or you have an injury, treat yourself with kindness. Don't force yourself into a space that your body doesn't want to go into. You have that power. Try not to let your yoga practice be something where you're dominating, where you're making demands on your body beyond where it wants to go. We're here to have this conscious, loving connection with the body. Breath in, breath out. Notice your relationship with extreme. Notice your relationship with discomfort and with your own expectations. I'm going to walk the right arm in, ease that left shoulder out from under us. And I'm going to lengthen the left leg back and reach that right arm forward, feeling length and that holding it together strength. Ease and steadiness, sthira sukha. Doesn't mean that there won't be sections in our practice or in life that don't have an intensity about them, but how do we react to them? How do we come through them? Can we do it with ease and steadiness? I'm going to bring the left knee down, right hand down, and I'm going to lengthen the left arm forward, right leg back. Feel what's going on in your body and how you're reacting. Feel what's going on in your breath and how you are reacting. And your mind. And I'm going to bring this left hand down, right knee down. Maybe it's time for a break here. Remember, there's a huge value in our pause. All right, I'm going to tuck the toes, lift the hips, another down dog. And what's different here? There is a certain degree of familiarity now. Muscles have warmed up and become more receptive. My mind is a little bit more chill. Doesn't clench around my desire, right? Because I have a desire in my down dogs. I definitely do. My back, my spine, that remembered feeling is like, yeah, gimme, right? It's like the first one, the body's like, yeah, you can say gimme all you want, you better wait. You better be nice to me. And I get to just go through that every day as a process and a practice of learning how to say hello to myself anew. And accept what's going on today, not my desire. Right? Especially not my remembered desire. Feel this breath. Don't dismiss it. Notice what's going on in your mind. How distracted is your mind? And don't look at that distraction as bad. Look at it as, thank you for giving me something to notice about myself, about my patterns. I'm going to bring my right knee down, step the left foot up. I'm going to tuck the back toes and then spin that foot flat. And I'm just going to rest my elbow on this knee and reach this right arm forward for what's called side angle, but I'm using it in support. So I've got this elbow down for this support. If you don't want to start there, although I really recommend to start your practice, ease into the depth of some poses. But you could bring your block here and start to rotate the chest, pushing the baby toe edge of that right foot down. I love spending time on the back leg, right? I tend to really pay attention to the one I feel closest to, right? So wherever my face is, it's like, that's the most important one. But hey, way back there, what are you doing? How are you helping me? Can it help me? Oh, so much to learn about support, how I show up for myself, and again, those demands. Feeling my ribs, my waist, my organs, my groin, all those legs, right? I'm going to bring myself up for Warrior Two. So the legs get to stay just like this. And I get to sink in these hips. And maybe float those arms up. Let the upper body stuff be last. In the standing poses, what's on the ground, let that be first, okay? So, what's going on in my left foot? My right foot, coming up through the calves and the knees. Remember what I said about neutral? I don't really feel my left calf. My left thigh is like, yeah, who cares about the calf? I'm doing the work. But actually, I'm still standing on it. It's there. So what is it doing? Can I talk to it? Can I say, hey, how you doing? And breathe, kind of like standing in line, right? And the thigh is in a space in a line, and the calf is in a space in the line, and the foot and the ankle are in a place in the line. And I'm going to talk to each member in line. What are you doing? How you doing? Good. I'm going to straighten and sink. So I'm really waking up the groin, its ability to hold me in a space of openness and strength. Now I am going to add those arms. Feeling extension of my will. Remember I said it doesn't really matter how much you're actually able to do. Where are you meeting yourself in your will? What is your desire? And can you send it to yourself, that will? Can you will it to yourself? Breath in. Breath out. What's your mind doing? And I'm going to bring my hands down to the floor. Bring the right knee down. I'm going to step this left knee back. And I'm going to do a few hip circles. Ooh. And, I didn't have any plan. Well, I don't really have any plan whenever I show up on my mat. But we're coming out of that pose. This hip and that left thigh. We're like, hello, I have a little fatigue. I had a little pent-up energy, so I want to release it. So I'm just doing a few hip circles. Good. I'm going to step the right foot up and get ready for the other side. So I'm going to tuck the back toes. I'm going to spin that left foot flat. I'm going to come into this side angle again. So you make your choice. Maybe you just want to have your elbow on the knee, turning your chest sideways, seeing if the hips can come sideways as well. Maybe you're using a block as I demoed on that other side. On this side, I'm really feeling my shoulders, my neck, craving this open sensation. Okay, now my legs are like, hello, you went way up high. What about us down here? We were in the front of the line. Breath in, breath out. Ease and steadiness. What can you do to quiet the mind if it's getting busy? Is it getting chattery? Don't forget to spend time with your breath. Your breath is in line as well. And I'm going to come on upright for Warrior Two. I want to feel my hips a little here. Wanted to feel my whole body, so I've gotten to do some twisting in the chest. Definitely feeling my legs. starting to feel a little bit of heat build in my body. Maybe even just notice how you respond when heat is building. Does it start to become an indication for you of, oh, I need to stop? Does it make you want to speed up? Does it make you want to distract and get water or turn on something cool? Can you just feel what's going on in your heat? And I'm going to straighten and sink. Arms expanding. I'm just willing spaciousness. Willing spaciousness. Feel the space I already occupy. Even be aware of the space you're occupying in the room. Now I'm going to bring my hands down. I'm going to bring the left knee down. Step the right knee back. Yeah, may as well, right? May as well do this hip circle here. Ooh. Good. And then I'm going to find child's pose. Once again, sinking back in the hips. And now in this pose I can feel some of the residual effect of having had my hips open in that side angle and that warrior two. I can feel the back side of my spine, back of my neck. I'm going to reach my arms behind me, finding an interlace. Maybe you want to hold a strap with your hands. I'm going to try to open my collarbones by drawing the shoulder blades together, amplifying my awareness of this region of my chest, right? The base of my throat and the top of my chest. Can I breathe just as fully as I can here as I can without my arms together? Can I want that for myself? Breathing in, breathing out. Oh, I'm going to release the arms. I want to reach the arms out in front of me. I'm going to come forward one more time for a nice juicy plank. Yep, juicy. Noticing what goes on in my mind, what goes on in my breath. Already right now, don't make this into something that's like a challenge where you're like, oh, I have to do the same amount of time that person on the screen is. Nope. You're here to feel what is truly going on in your feet, your ankles, your calves, your thighs, your belly, your buttocks, your core, your back, the front of your chest, your armpits, your upper arms, your forearms, your wrists, your fingers, your throat, your neck, your ears, your jaw, your tongue, your face. Can we still smile? Are we still in love with ourselves here? Breathe in and lift the hips up. Down dog. Down dog has definitely felt like a space I needed to be in for myself today. That stretching through my waist, my torso, the backs of my legs, letting the weight of my head pull on my neck, because my neck is tired of carrying those heavy, heavy thoughts. And I'm going to shift it back forward to plank. I'm going to lower down mindfully. Remember, that's your pace. Just feel yourself arriving on the earth, not falling to the earth. And I'm going to reach those arms out in front of me. As I said, I wanted to feel my whole body. Feel as much of the range of movement in my body. And I'm just rocking left and right, massaging my organs. Can I relax my belly muscles enough to just massage the organs? Feeling the breath as it inflates and as it deflates. And noticing my mind. What am I enjoying about this right now? Am I giving myself permission, enough time to just enjoy something? right? Let's not defer the joy. Like, oh, I'll get to that when I'm this good or whatever. No, find the joy. Now I'm going to walk the palms in about an inch. Arms straight, sliding the shoulder blades back, peeling the chest up, relaxing the buttocks. So feeling an upward curving, an upward arcing of the top of the chest, shoulders down, the top of my head lifting. Belly breathing. Feeling my chest and my belly stretching upward. I'm going to lower my chest down, turn my head to one side. Deep breath. Sigh it out. I'm going to turn my head to the other side. Now feel free to do that again and maybe deepen it a little bit the second time. And then after you've taken a rest between that, perhaps do it a third time. Again, maybe deepening it or holding it a little longer. I'm not going to, on my end, I don't want to push my back today. I've been having some moments of some slip-ups, and so I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to pay attention and not overdo my back. That's how much it wanted to open. I also know that I'll be in my body a little bit later as well, so I want to give it enough time to be able to sustain me through the day. All right, I'm going to prop myself up on my elbows though. I'm going to do half Dhanurasana, half bow. So I'm going to bend my right knee, reach back with that foot, inner thighs together, inviting that heel to my butt. Feeling that stretch to the top of that thigh, and it feels really good considering the work we did in the warriors. And I think I let you guys know I did a lot of walking, a lot of hiking yesterday, so nice stretch out of the top of that thigh that did so much contracting. I'm going to gently release that. That also got a stretch on the front of that shoulder. So I got to feel this body working together, right? Arm and leg coming together to provide the resistance that each needed for some ease. Breathing in, breathing out. Now if you want more in this, and we don't have to always be seeking more, and that's something to observe about your practice. Like, is there ever enough? Or are we always seeking more intensity, deeper of something? But if we are, I'm going to push the foot into the hand, letting that start to lift my chest up, stretching that left arm, stretching my left chest. I'm going to work my neck while I'm here, feeling the attachments in the arm and shoulder on the neck. And slowly lower it down. So make choices about that. I'm going to release, turn my head to one side and feel the pause. Let that pause help disseminate, diffuse the energy, the stretch. I'm going to slide my right knee up toward my right armpit, feeling my hip open here, and I'm just going to straighten that right leg out. Ooh, and feel that hip open, just like Warrior 2, but not, right? This is like way more relaxed. Maybe you'll recall we were talking about, is the body resisting or is the body dumping? And right now, could we just let the body dump? Could it just let go? So when we can, when we're given the opportunity to rest, to not have to work so hard, something we often are craving, like I don't want to have to work this hard, I'm overworked. When we get a chance to not do? Will we take it? Can you feel that in your hips and your back and your groin? Can you let go? Let gravity do its thing. Is the mind trusting that that's possible? Is your breath helping facilitate that ease? Is your body willing to let go and surrender, or is it constantly bracing? Is it constantly in a reflexive clench? I'm going to bring this right leg back in, taking my time. Now I'm just going to stretch that over behind me. Oh, and let go. Let go in the arms, let go in the chest, let go in the neck. If you've got to reposition your head and your arms, go ahead. But letting all the flesh in the front of the hip, ooh. Ah. Good. Now I'm going to bring that leg back to neutral. Turn my head to the other side. Slide the left knee up. And then when you're ready, if you want, straighten that left leg. Observe the body. All of the joints. All of the flesh, all of the organs. Observe your breath. And your mind. Where are you? I'm going to gently bring that leg back in and just start to lengthen it back to the right. Ooh, and let that leg go. Oh, I'm going to back off of it because this side is definitely holding a lot more tension. Seeing if I can let my hips go heavy, only because I'm noticing that my hips are clenching. Adjust the arms. Let the free fall feeling happen. Let the free fall feeling happen. We don't have to be in control. Put in some faith and belief that non-control is a form of power. I'm going to gradually bring the legs back in. I'm going to bend my right knee out. And I'm going to bend the left knee out. I'm going to creep them up and see how high I can bring those knees up to a little baby frog. Just keeping my chest, my head, or maybe my chin, or you could rest your hands, your chin on your hands. And seeing if I can start to let my hips sink downward. Maybe the knees start to slide apart. Hi, Puma. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. And this is Puma. She has her 4-year gotcha day. Was yesterday. Out. Karma out. Alright, so by all means, come out of this space anytime that you need. We're not here to grin and bear or torture. But what's changing? What's the nuance? in the sensations, in the resistance, or the opening in the hips, the thighs, the back. And I'm going to bring those legs back in. So I felt some core today. I felt my back opening, a heart lift, a back bend, hips, leg strength, arm strength. Felt the shoulders. I'm going to flip on over onto my back. Certainly felt the thighs and gotten to stretch that. I'm going to bring the bottoms of the feet together, knees open. We were just in a similar space, but now it's just we flipped it and feel the energy in a different direction. Feeling acceptance, santosha. Good enough. This is good. This is more than good enough. Because with acceptance, with contentment comes gratitude. Maybe bring one hand to the chest, one hand to the belly. Try to have an aspect of gratitude in every yoga practice, every asana practice. Letting the practice itself be an act of gratitude for my body, for the life breath in this body, for any range of movement, any amount of strength, its ability to walk me around, carry me around. I'm going to bring the inner thighs together and hug the knees in. So this is kind of like child's pose, but we're just on our back. Ooh, and I can definitely feel a stretch in my back a little bit differently than I did in child's pose. I'm just going to rock and massage it. I'm going to straighten the legs, sending them up toward the ceiling. And the first time that we've been upside down in this manner. Now, down dog qualifies as an upside down kind of space because our head is beneath our heart. But here we're looking up at the heavens, having that upward gaze. How much time have we spent letting ourselves be really low down, looking up, and surrendering to that? I'm going to point and flex my toes, my heels, feeling the freedom in my feet, letting my feet and my ankles let me know, hey, I don't have to carry your weight. And just let that be a gift to the feet, the ankles. Say, you're welcome. And the ankle rotations, feeling that range. Ooh, you can move, so let's feel the movement and change direction. Let's not miss it. Let's not dismiss this as too simple, too whatever, and miss what it has to teach us, what it has to show us. And then send that gratitude again. Good. Now, if you want to join, feel free. I'm going to do a shoulder stand. Some of you might want to switch it around and put your legs up on a wall, but I'm going to stay where I am. So if you don't know it, just stay right here. You can just stay here, legs up, call it good. If you want to join, keep your gaze up, don't turn your neck. We're going to bring the hands down alongside the waist. I'm going to push down with the hands, walking the hands up the low back. Elbows coming in, providing support, lifting my chin away from my chest. I'm feeling this inversion, having my hips higher than my chest, feeling the weight of my legs. I'm just going to bicycle it and do silly stuff because I can. Because I can. Just feeling a range of movement, inviting play. Just say, what will happen
What feels good? Twists sometimes feel really good here. Explore, breathe, feel. I'm going to bring the knees toward my forehead. Release the hands and lower the spine down slowly. Ease in the breath. I'm going to hug my left knee into my chest and roll over to the right hip for a twist. And come on back to center. Maybe you decide, my practice really needs more twisting. And maybe that just starts to guide you for where you want to go today, tomorrow. Just be really aware to show up with yourself where you are that day. Right? Don't try to repeat a practice of yesterday. That wouldn't be being present in your body today. Present with your spirit today. We don't want to stamp a mold for ourselves. We want to hold ourselves open to constantly becoming. I switched sides. I don't think I said anything that I did. And I'm going to come on back to neutral. I'm going to hug both knees into the chest. I'm going to lift my forehead to my knee. I'm going to lay my chest down, wrapping the arms behind the knees and straighten the legs. I'm going to slide my hands up the calves because I really didn't spend a lot of time in this lengthened stretch of the back and the hamstrings. Hi, Puma. Will you move out of the way? Good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Don't force anything. Find where the body can be with a degree of ease and comfort. And just observe your body's reaction. What's changing, what's static. Notice your breath. And notice your thoughts. I'm going to release the legs. I'm going to straighten the legs out and get ready for Shavasana. I'm just going to bring, it could be a bigger pillow than this. I'm just going to bring this roll up underneath of my knees for a little bit of ease. If lying flat on your back doesn't work for you, you could always bring your legs at that butterfly position. Maybe curl up on your side or lay on your belly. I'm going to adjust my shoulders for comfort, my hips, my head. And then committing to letting go and pausing. No fidgeting, no physical reacting. Now to prevent falling asleep in Shavasana, this is a pose. Maybe just let your awareness hover on one of your senses. Give it a single point of soft focus. Still not reacting. Simply allowing your attention to reside. When you're ready, we'll come up to an upright seated space. Of course, if you want to stay there, stay there. This is your practice. Remember, we're not here to just follow something sequentially. You take what works, let go of what doesn't. I'm going to close with a guided visualization through what's called our koshas. Our koshas are 5 layers of existence. And I find that amplifying my awareness and practicing my awareness of my koshas really helps me keep my perspective. And I don't get so sucked up into what's going on in this gray matter and not identifying wholly with the projections of my mind. And it helps me remain connected to all of the layers of my being. So let your hands rest however you wish. Maybe sitting in a chair, or you could sit with your back up against the wall and get some support. Feel the breath, feel your body. And feel the skin layer of your physical being into the muscular layer, into the bone layer, even into your skull, your neck, your fingers, your outer coating. Feel how heavy it is, feel everything about it. Feel yourself as a physical being. Breathe in. Breathe out. Feel the breath being contained within this flesh sac. Feel where the breath moves around inside of this flesh sac. Feel it as your breath, as a part of you. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inside of the flesh, inside of the breath, notice your mind. Feel how much space it's occupying within the cocoon of your physical being and your breath being. All of the thoughts, feel the sensation of your thoughts, buzzing, bouncing off of one another. Breathe in. Breathe out. Encased within us flesh, encased within this breath, within the mind, safely nestled inside of there. Feel your wisdom expanding, knowing beyond knowing, ancestral, intuitive. Let it stretch inside of this cocoon, making more space to occupy as a valid part of our being, a layer of ourselves. Deep breath in. And breathe out. And feel the breath permeating the physical layer, the breath layer, the mental layer, into the wisdom, letting the wisdom breathe, making space for that inner light, that inner spirit, that spiritual blissful light within us. Feel it stretching, yawning, taking up space, occupying our being. Let your awareness occupy this layer of yourself, spirit and light. This is your being. Breathe in. Breathe out. Feel yourself existing as all 5 of these layers.
each equal, no one of them more important. And as you breathe in and out, let your spirit light being walk out into the world with you as you travel about your day. Let your wisdom being walk out into the world. Your mental thought being walk out into the world. Walk as your breath. Walk fully in your body. Breathe and be the representative of all these layers of yourself. Deep breath. Let's reach and sweep the arms up through all of our beings, expressing all of our beings. Exhale, bringing the hands through center. All of the light and love in me recognizes and salutes the light and love in you. Namaste. I'm Belinda with Just Be Yoga, and it's been my honor to share practice with you and connection with you. And I hope that any parts, one part, a couple parts, anything in this share adds to your practice of your connection with you and all 5 layers of your being called koshas. Thanks so much, everyone. Please share our videos, our blogs. Drop a donation in the till if you wish, paypal.me/justbeyoga. And come on back or check out any of our classes on our playlists on YouTube or Facebook. Peace. Go forth and do great things today in all 5 layers of your being.